Hello, and welcome to Here by Nature. Today we're going over Nahum 1:7 in the English Standard Version, which reads, "The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knows those who take refuge in him." The first key takeaway for this verse is that God's goodness is constant. Even in times of chaos or judgment, God's nature does not change. He is good. His goodness isn't dependent on our circumstances, but is an unshakable truth we can build our faith upon. The journal prompts for the first key takeaway are: how have I seen God's goodness shine through during my most difficult seasons? In what ways can I remind myself daily that God's goodness never changes, even when life does? What does God is good mean to me personally when I face fear, loss, or uncertainty? The second key takeaway for this verse is God is our stronghold in trouble. Nahum calls God a stronghold, a place of refuge, strength, and protection. When we turn to him, we find safety not in escape from trouble, but in his presence within it. The journal prompts for the second key takeaway are: what does seeking refuge in God look like for me right now? When life feels overwhelming, what prevents me from running to God as my stronghold? How can I build a daily habit of finding security and peace in God's presence? The third key takeaway for this verse is that God knows and cares for those who trust in him. The phrase, "He knows those who take refuge in him," speaks of intimate relationship. God doesn't just protect his people, he knows them personally and watches over them with deep care. The journal prompts for the third key takeaway are: how does it make me feel to know that God knows me personally and sees my struggles? In what ways can I deepen my trust and reliance on God's care? What small act of faith can I take today to rest in the truth that God knows and loves me? For the personal reflection part today, I'm going to go over the second key takeaway's first question, which is: what does seeking refuge in God look like for me right now? And for me right now, I feel in a time of waiting. Like nothing's really happening in life right now. Like it feels like we just did. Last year we went through bankruptcy and we were able to keep the house. We still have the house. Finally have settled into my job at Walgreens, and everything is like about as jobby as a job gets. It's pretty average, but really I'm not complaining about that. It's honestly really nice. Yeah, I'm just kind of going through the motions right now. There's not really like anything happening. Like I could say that I'm trying to start up my photography business again, but really like my heart's not in that at the moment. Like I can take people's pictures, but kind of thing. Yeah, right now, honestly, it's really just the trying to read my Bible every day. Earlier today, I actually moved around we call it the workout room. We don't really work out in it. It's one of the spare bedrooms, basically, that became like our throw everything in there room. And I moved what used to be my remote work from home office desk. I moved that from where it makes the room really like secluded and closed off to where it's more open, and my husband can actually use his workout gear in it. He has like some kind of like bench thing. But yeah, that's kind of what I did today. Was I set time aside to set that up so that in the mornings, whenever I wake up, I can set that morning time aside whenever I've just woken up, maybe make myself a thing of decaf coffee because I still can't have that much caffeine. And really just like read the Bible and do my Bible study like first thing in the morning. I've gotten away from doing that for probably, at this point, it's probably been like half a year. And I can really tell the difference between how I felt when I did it daily. My dog just got out, and he has a cone on. I lost my train of thought. My dog just escaped our backyard. But yeah, just really, I can tell the difference between when I was reading my Bible daily in the morning and like really just like soaking in the word versus what I do now. Now that like the busyness of life has gotten back to me, I'm like waking up, going to work, coming home, taking care of the house, which is not a bad habit. It's not a bad routine. I just know that I personally can do better as far as my walk in faith. And sorry, my little chickens went off. Yeah, I just had this this calmness about me, and I can tell that it's like kind of starting to come back now that I'm listening to worship music in my spare time. I've kind of basically completely like blocked out all like secular music except for, of course, what I hear at work, which isn't necessarily the worst. I mean, it's a Walgreens, so it's not like it's super terrible worldly music. It's just not like gospel music, basically. I have a playlist that I've been listening to, and it's linked down below. I have a Spotify playlist and a YouTube music playlist, depending on which you prefer to use. It's like 7 hours long. I personally like to play it on shuffle and kind of just see what message God has for me that day. And a lot of the times it's something like super spot on with what I needed to hear. So if you want to give it a try, again, that's linked down below. And it'd be really cool, I don't know, just to see what kind of message he has for you today, tomorrow, next week, whenever you try to check it out. Yeah. I'm going to see if I want to do one more. So I feel like I rambled on a little bit with that question. I'm going to go into the third takeaway's second question, which reads, in what ways can I deepen my trust and reliance on God's care? Now, not necessarily that I was testing him, but this year I did quit my job without having anything in like lined up. I just quit my job. It was like super stressful for me, and just for my mental health, I decided like I need to take a step back and see basically where God leads me. And he led me to something differently stressful, but something that he knew that I could handle. And honestly, I'm loving where I'm at right now. That to say, my entire work situation right now has really deepened my trust and reliance on God. Recently, I got a different job opportunity, job proposal, from somewhere where I applied to before Walgreens. They were like, hey, we have the spot open if you're still interested. And out of curiosity, I did an interview with them. And even in that interview, like, I knew deep down that I was going to stick it out with Walgreens because so much has happened there. And, like, oh my gosh. I feel like just talking about that, it would be like 15-20 minutes to describe everything as to like why I feel like God's led me there. But the short of it is I really don't know how to put it. The short of it is that I'm meant to be there. God placed me there for a reason. And I've already made such like great, amazing friends. And I don't know if I've talked about it much, but I mentioned earlier in the video my mental health and everything. A few months back, I went into the mental hospital for having too detailed a plan as to not be here one morning whenever I would wake up. And they were worried that that plan plus changing my medicine would cause something really terrible to happen. So they put me under a watch, and while I was in there, I made wonderful friends. We're going to church together now, and honestly, she's helping me get out of my bubble, and I'm helping her get out of hers and grow in her spiritual walk. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. But yeah, I know it kind of sounds like I'm tooting my own horn with, oh, well, I've already done all of these cool things to deepen my trust in him and everything. And a little bit I am. I don't really talk myself up too much. That's one of my like personal weaknesses, basically. But yeah, I guess one thing that I'm doing, I have sometime this week coming up, a meeting with the small group pastor at our church. I'm going to be trying to start a ladies only small group, and I have at least 2 people that can go. 3 actually. I have 3 ladies that are interested. The one that I met at the Praise Young Adults, one that I met in the mental hospital, and one that I met at work. So this is kind of like all of my worlds combining into one, which would be super cool. Plus anybody else who decides to join us. That's me kind of like going out of my own comfort zone because I do kind of have like a social anxiety, which sounds weird with me doing this like kind of vloggy thing at the end, but it's true. Silly but true. But yeah, hopefully you heard whatever it is you needed to hear today. And until next week, friends, I'll see you then, and have a blessed one.